Hello and good morning. It's Suzanne. How are you? I'm the weight loss coach, and I'm jumping in today with part three of my series of how to overcome emotional eating. Now, in the last two parts, we learned that emotional eating is a behavior, it's not a thing. And we also learnt that we use emotional eating to regulate our emotions. The behavior helps to regulate emotions. And this is set up right from infancy. So it's part of us, it's part of our DNA. There's nothing wrong with us. And in fact, everyone is an emotional eater. We eat because we're happy. We eat because some people eat because they're sad. Some people eat for procrastination, just avoidance, putting something off. I'll just eat something before I start doing that other thing. There's all sorts of reasons we eat, when there are celebrations, that's emotional. If we're going out for dinner and it's a first date or a date night, that's emotional. So there's lots of reasons why we eat emotionally. But of course, I'm here to help you to let go of the negative aspects of emotional eating. So step three is about embracing emotional eating. Know that emotional eating is actually here to teach us something about what's going on in our life. Because if we're trying to regulate a negative emotion, well, where does that negative emotion come from? What is happening in your life that you need to feel as if you need to be soothed? Why are you feeling like you have to go to food to self-soothe? So it's always taking a step back. And the only way we can do that is really be in the present moment and be aware of what we are doing rather than allow our subconscious mind to just do things automatically, habitually. And you know what the outcome is going to be. If you're going to be eating to self-soothe, you eat that food to feel good because that's what your body tells you, that is the automatic thing. Food will make me feel good, but then you feel bad. And that self-attack is completely, what would I say? It can be very destructive. In physiologically and biologically, obviously emotionally. When we are in self-attack and we're telling ourselves off, we're doing the internal mental beat up, then you're actually creating the stress response. And the stress response in our body is telling us to increase cortisol levels, which is the stress hormone. Insulin tracks the cortisol level. And when that happens, our body goes into fight or flight, which is the survival response. And this is all unconscious, all automatic. You're probably not even aware of it, other than that you're not feeling so good. Hey, Carol, thanks so much for watching. So when we are eating in a stress response or as a result of a stressful response, trying to self-soothe, then our body chemistry is rising to the fight, so to speak, because we're stressed. The body will go into its automatic survival response, and it actually wants to hang on to weight. It wants to lay down fat, and it does not want to build muscle. And these are all the things that we don't want to happen if our goal is to lose weight. And the other thing about emotional eating is that it's very much a learned behavior as well. I'm sure you've watched a sitcom somewhere along the line where you've seen someone, eating a great big tub of ice cream, American sitcom, and because, something has not gone right in their life. It can be very much a learned behavior, but also it's very much a biological, physiological behavior. It's very natural for us to do that. So what we need to do in step three is to actually embrace it, so we can find out more, find out what it is here to teach us. We certainly don't want to be continually going down the attacking behavior, eating food to feel good and then feeling bad and then doing, all that negative, nasty self-talk. So then again, as I mentioned, I'm asking you to step back a little in your mind and work out, well, what is the cause of this? Why am I seeking to be self-soothed? What else is going on in my life? How can I learn? How can I grow from this? How can I be fully present and aware? Because if you're doing things automatically, you're not present. You've stepped out. You're doing something automatically, mindlessly, and so therefore, those mindless behaviors, now they can be very good. We can create good mindless behaviors, good healthy habits, but then we can have unhealthy habits that we know that aren't serving us, that we just keep doing and doing. But when this kind of thing happens, it's really important to stop, take a breath, and just go, okay, let's look at this a little bit more closely. So looking at being very curious about your reactions to things, and it helps so much to have a food diary. I've created a food and emotion diary for my clients, so that they can see what they're eating and what the emotional, what was going on for them emotionally that day. And did they find at the end of the day that they were binge eating? Did they not feed themselves enough? Was there an emotional upset that caused them to go and, snack out or numb out on food? It helps them to see patterns of behavior that we can then address from a neurological level using hypnosis, using neurolinguistics, and just using, very, very easy habit changing techniques. So be curious about what's happening and why it's happening, rather than just allow it to happen. Be the best version of you. Look at your life and who you are and how you show up, and always strive to do it in the best way that you know how. And sometimes it's little baby steps. Sometimes it's just very small things that you may want to change. It may be that you would like to get fitter and healthier. Now, that's quite a big thing, but you can do that in small steps. Literally, just go for a 10-minute walk. And that can be a pattern interrupter. It can interrupt the pattern of behavior by simply going, no, not going to the fridge, not going to the cupboard. I'm actually going to go for a walk. I'm going to walk around the house. I'm going to walk around the yard. I'm going to step outside. Whatever it is, take a break, take a breath break, remove yourself from the situation. Of whatever is, in your mind, that is not going to be helpful in the longer term. Seek ways to minimize your stress levels. That is so, so important. But obviously you need to be aware of what they are. That's why a tracking sheet is good. That's why personal inquiry. At the end of the day, doing a bit of a reflection, whether that's via journaling or, just sitting and thinking about, well, what happened during my day today? Why did I eat in a way that's unhelpful for me? What else is going on in my life that maybe I could clean up, tidy up, get some support with, set some boundaries around. So it's very much, as I say, always getting into the present moment, minimizing your stress. Another really great way to embrace emotional eating, because sometimes we can get so hangry, we have not eaten, and we get like this urge, this need, and we can actually get cranky, and then just, we are driven. Our subconscious mind drives us, excuse me, drives us to go and eat food. So look at that and step back and go, well, why did I do that? Did I not feed myself enough today? Was I too busy? What else was going on in my day? The next day, look at ways to regulate your appetite. And I know and a lot of women come to me when I'm working with them one-on-one privately, is that they say, but I'm just not hungry. And oftentimes that's because they've created a habit in their life of skipping meals. They don't have time for breakfast. It's too busy. The household's all, it's chaotic. They just get stuck into their work during lunchtime, or again, they're too busy. Forget about eating, don't have time. And so at the end of the day, their whole body is just screaming for food. And that's typically when binge eating starts. But your body learns that the behavior to switch off the appetite signals. Just like if you don't drink enough water, the thirst signals just switch off because there's no need. But there's still this underlying foundational primal need to eat and to drink water. So sometimes we do have to train ourselves to eat. Practice having breakfast in the morning. How do you do that? You need to make time. You need to think about it and plan it. Practice having lunch. Set an alarm on your phone. Set boundaries for yourself and go, okay, I'm taking a half-hour break now. I need to feed my body, because if my body's not well fed, my brain's not going to work. I'm going to get hangry at the end of the day. I'm going to go and do a binge eat, and then I won't be happy at all. And neither may be the people around me. So look at ways that you can be the best version of you. Regulate your appetite. Practice eating. Practice getting that appetite back. Your body's metabolism, if there's no appetite, is pretty much slowed down, shut down, because it's constantly in a stress state, whether it's not getting enough food or whether there's some things going on at home, relationship wise, work wise, whatever it is. The body is in survival response, and so therefore your metabolism slows down, shuts down. It does not want to give you any energy because it needs to conserve it to survive. It's a very primal instinct that we're not typically aware of. So there we go. That is step 3 in the 7-step process of how to overcome emotional eating. Stop fighting it. Be curious and learn from the behaviors. What else is going on? What are you really hungry for? I hope you've enjoyed that. Jump in again next Wednesday, 8:30 a.m. and I will take you through step 4 of how to overcome emotional eating. Okay, thanks a lot. Bye-bye.